Hi everyone, it's Lyndakanase with icrafter. Today I'm sharing a project using the Doodle Monstera Leaves die set. So if you enjoy crafty ideas, be sure and subscribe to our channel and hit that like button and ring that bell so that you'll be notified when I have new videos coming out. So let's get started. So this is a Doodle Monstera Leaves that I'm going to be working with today. Each leaf, there's 3 different styles of leaves, and each leaf can cut 3 different shapes. There are 8 dies in this set, including the word aloha. So let me show you what I did with that. So for each style of leaf, there are 2 main shapes. One creates a solid piece, which you see up here, and then the other one creates the doodle shape, which you see right there. And the piece that drops out from inside of that creates another shape. So you actually end up with 2 dies making 3 shapes. You used 4 different colors of cardstock in a family of blues and greens that are very tropical. There's also a die that cuts the word aloha, as well as a shadow to it. What I did first was I cut one single piece that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this will be the back of the card. Then I cut another piece that was a little bit longer. Maybe give it a 3/8 of an inch on top there, so you have a tab. And then what I did is I took that piece, and this is from the Slimline Edges and Borders die set, and it creates this long shape, but you don't have to use the whole long shape, and this is why I had to cut this front piece shorter, is that I put it through the die cutting machine. Half of this die goes across it. So it's splitting this piece of cardstock along that curved line. And I'll show you what I ended up with. So it cut 2 pieces like this. And they went, you can see where they went together. But they created 2, a top half and a bottom half. And this is what I meant about having the tab along the top. So you want to fold that back. And you have these 2 shapes. I also cut a piece of acetate that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And what I'm going to do is adhere the top half to the acetate. And then I will leave a window in there. And the acetate's cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this is actually the bottom of the card. But as you can tell, this piece became longer because I have this gap in here. So I'm going to decide where I want it to sit, how much of a gap. So let me go ahead and stick this on. I'm going to use a tape roller because it will leave a very clean or a cleaner looking finish behind the acetate. I'm just going to lay this on here. So there's the top half. And I'm going to trim it down so that it's exactly right because it's all these different measurements. So now this would normally be the bottom of the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 length. So I'm giving it about what is that? About 1.5 inch window. So something like that. Turn it over, take a pencil. This is just to kind of show where I want it to go. And then I'm going to add the adhesive to the back of this cardstock here. I'll just apply it this way. The edges come out a little crooked or not aligned right. You could always trim it down. So I'm cutting through acetate as well as paper and cardstock. Actually, I could do it this way and cut exactly on the bottom. So I'm aligning it with the bottom of the acetate there. Other side. So now you have straight edges on all the sides, and you're going to now attach it to the back of the card. And I would suggest doing this fold with your iPress burnisher. We're going to attach it to the inside of the card. What you could do is lay it flat like that, and we're just going to align that. So the reason why we had to do the card this way is so that we can cut this ripple edge, because unless you have a larger machine, this won't go through a die cutting machine this way. You'd have to trim this paper down and use it a little smaller because it is a slimline size. But you can see what you end up with is so pretty. You get this nice gap in there. So let me go ahead and start playing with the leaves. Now, one of the things you can do when you have these 3 layers is that you could take this center layer and cut it in half, or other shapes, but I did it exactly in half. So when you lay it in there and you place this on top, it looks like a variegated leaf. You could add, maybe even take a little piece off of here and add it in as well, but I kind of like the way this looked. This came out looking like half the leaf is a darker color than the other. So I'm going to do that with the rest of the leaves to add some variety to them. So let's start assembling. Now you can do it one of 2 ways, actually. You can align them, and I'll show you like this. Align them perfectly so that the doodle part fits exactly over that leaf. And you can see with a little more care, you'd have this exactly aligned leaf. Now, the other thing you can do, and which I did with the sample card, is you could see how I staggered them to add more motion to the leaves, like you're seeing them wiggle a little bit, just by overlapping. It's a design technique. Or again, you could do it exactly straight, depending on what you want to do. And since I did them offset, what is called offset on this one, I will do them exactly aligned on this one, just to show the difference on that. So you can see kind of where I'm going, that you could see underneath into the card, but I'm also adding these leaves. So let me go ahead and glue these down. Start with the doodle part exactly on top of the background part, and then drop in the insert last. And you just lay it in there exactly on top, and you have, just as a side note, you don't need to put adhesive on the stem because the stem is free floating. So just as a side note, so you don't do what I just did and get glue on your table. So what I'm saying is you're not really adhering down the stem, so you don't need to put adhesive back there. And then we're going to drop this in there. This is a little extra cutout piece that came out from a different color. So there you can see how it looks with the two-tone. So there's one. Let me go ahead and finish the rest of these. So I glued together all the leaves. I'm going to just bring it up here so you can see. I did all of them in 2 tones, and this one I cut a little extra there. So again, they look like variegated Monstera leaves. So now I'm going to add a little foam tape to raise them up off the background a little bit. I want to do something like this and do that. And I'm not putting adhesive over the acetate. Just going to go like that. And then this one will be just putting adhesive over here. So it's, and then so this last leaf, because I want to raise it up a little bit so it's sitting on top of here, I'm going to add some foam tape, pretty much avoiding this tip on the back side, so all on this area. And just start adding some dimension to this. Do that. Okay, so I have the backing off on everything there now, and I'm just going to add it like right there. And then what I'm going to do is actually add the word aloha on the inside. So when it opens, it will look kind of like that. So let me go ahead and add some adhesive. Now, and the nice thing is you have so many extra pieces of leaves that you could make a ton more projects. So there is the Doodle Monstera leaves. Just a quick way of how to, all the pieces you get in these, that you can assemble them in different ways. And this is just a fun kind of acetate idea window card. Now again, you can also use these just as the leaf shapes, the doodle parts. You can do something really fun with that. You can add the inserts in them, or you can actually do another way, is to do the main shadow piece with the leaf, a different leaf. Like you could do something like that. So there are a ton of things to do with these Doodle Monstera leaves, and I hope you have fun. And again, please subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, and ring the bell for the notifications next time I do a video. Thanks for watching. Bye.